Hello and welcome to episode 333 of the Daily Sales Message podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. I also talk really quickly because I get excited, so sorry about that. Hopefully you listen to audiobooks in 2 times speed like I do. You can keep up. If not, well, good luck. But there we go. I get excited and I talk quickly because I've got lots to share. I mean, this is episode 333. That means by definition I've shared 332 other pieces of simple and actionable advice. And by all means, if it's the first episode you've listened to, head on back into the archives, go to Spotify, have a listen to some of the other episodes. There's tons and I'm biased, of course, but there's tons and tons of simple, actionable stuff that'll be really, really valuable for you. Make a massive difference to not just your sales performance, but your selling confidence too. I really focus on the confidence that people need to sell. And for me, confidence just comes from being prepared, knowing what to do, on what to say and how to behave, for want of a better term. And that's what this podcast is all about. Right, in today's episode, as I check my notes, because after 333 episodes, my brain is all over the place. I didn't record them all in a day, of course, but there we go. Right, today we're talking about convey meaning, not information. This is crucial. Convey meaning, not information. And this is that classic features versus benefits thing. We will talk about, and I don't know why I always use my mouse as the example. I suppose it's a close thing I've got to hand. I'm selling this mouse. It doesn't have, it's got these slidey things on it. It doesn't have wheels. You can click it in this way and that way and blah, blah, blah. It's chargeable, etc. These are all the features. And as the seller, you focus on that because that's what you understand. You know that is your product. We talk about the features. But as a buyer, I don't care, unfortunately. What I care about is what that means for me. So rather than telling me this mouse is rechargeable, or whatever the feature might happen to be, you need to tell me what that means for me. And those words, what that means is, or what that means is how we bridge the gap from feature to benefit. So if you find yourself talking about the quote unquote boring features and deliverables of your offering, we do this, we do that, and it's got this and it's got that, and you can kind of feel when people are just kind of switching off and disengaging from you. For each one of those things, try and remember what that means or what that means is. So the mouse is rechargeable. What that means is you don't need to buy batteries for it, whatever. Like put it into the real world context of the buyer that you've got. Because once you convey meaning rather than just conveying information, it allows your buyer to connect with that. And I know now, oh great, I don't have to buy batteries. Brilliant. Well, I want that because the other mouse I was looking at needed batteries. So I'm going to buy this one. Brilliant. I understand it has meaning. It's not just information. If you just give me information, you're kind of presuming or assuming I know what that means to me, and I might not. So convey meaning, not information, and remember to use what that means or what that means is to get from feature to benefit, because the more that you can connect your buyer with what you're selling, the more they can imagine it in their own world, in a real world context, the higher the chance of them actually making a positive buying decision. Okay, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow in episode 335, don't know how to check that if this is 334, but there we go. Oh no, tomorrow is 334, excuse me. This is why I have notes. Tomorrow in episode 334, in my completely unedited podcast, we're talking about presentations. When we have slide decks, demos, we're sharing our screen with somebody, there's a particular way that you need to approach these things, and I see people fail at this time and time again. But it's a really simple thing. It's a shift in approach, a shift in mindset. You can do it immediately. It's completely free to do, and it'll make a whole heap of difference. If you present things to people, if you share your screen, do slide decks, stuff like that, tune into tomorrow's episode because I've got a very important piece of advice on how you can frame it differently, look at things differently that will really engage the people that you're talking to. That's it for this episode. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com. That's sellingconfidencescore.com, where you can fill out a 20-question 2-minute quiz, and it will spit out the results of how well you're doing at sales and selling across 4 key areas and also areas of improvement. But more so than that, it will give you a simple, personalized action plan based on what you tell it that's unique to you and specialized to you that you can put into practice immediately. Things that are as simple as actionable as the things I talk about on the podcast here. So at sellingconfidencescore.com, takes literally 2 minutes to do. Hop on over there, fill that out. That will also help you to improve your selling confidence and your selling performance. Right, thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for another fast talking edition of the Daily Sales Message. Hopefully a little bit more professionalism too.